The forest was silent. Too silent. Mark stepped over a moss-covered log, every movement deliberate, careful not to disturb the hush that had fallen over the trees. He paused, mid-step, boot hovering above a patch of wet earth, brow furrowing. No birdsong. No rustling leaves. Not even the buzzing of insects. Only the weight of stillness pressing down from all sides. His camera swayed against his chest, lens cap long since pocketed. He scanned the dense woodland with practiced eyes. Pines stretched high above him like ancient guardians, their canopies blotting out the afternoon light. A soft fog hugged the undergrowth, clinging to rocks and fallen branches. Everything was exactly how he remembered, remote, untouched, and eerily beautiful. It was also the last place he'd expect to see another living soul. Mark wasn't here for company. He had once been a hunter, a damn good one too, respected, if not feared, in certain circles for his ability to track almost anything through snow, mud, or silence. But that life felt like a distant memory now. Guilt had caught up to him somewhere between his last kill and the realization that he no longer enjoyed the thrill. Now he hunted only with a camera. His latest trip was meant to be 3 days off-grid, deep in the Pacific Northwest, hoping to capture something rare. Maybe a wolf pack, maybe a mountain lion. His gear was minimal. Camera, basic survival supplies, and as always his old bolt-action rifle slung across his back. Not for sport, for safety. As he moved further down the trail, something caught his attention. Animal tracks in the soft mud. He crouched. The paw prints were massive. Fresh. The spacing irregular, like whatever made them had staggered or limped. Tufts of fur clung to a broken branch nearby, and deep scratch marks raked across a tree trunk just a few feet ahead. Something had been here recently, and it hadn't been moving calmly. He rose, senses sharpening. Then came the growl. It wasn't distant. It wasn't a warning call. It was low, steady, and far too close. Mark's breath caught. His hand instinctively reached for the rifle strap on his shoulder, fingers hesitating just inches from the stock. From the thick shadows between the trees, a figure emerged. A massive brown bear stepped forward, parting the ferns like a specter from an old hunter's nightmare. Its shoulders rolled with power, muscles shifting beneath its heavy coat. Mud streaked its flanks. Its eyes locked with Mark's the instant it saw him. But it didn't charge. It didn't roar. It walked toward him, slowly, purposefully, without a hint of fear. Mark froze. His fingers trembled slightly at the edge of the rifle strap. Years of experience told him to stand still, avoid sudden movements, and prepare for anything. But there was something wrong with this picture. This bear wasn't acting like any bear he'd seen before. No raised hackles, no bared teeth, just unwavering, almost intelligent eye contact. The bear stopped 10 paces away. They stood in silence, two apex creatures from different worlds, examining each other. Then the bear did something Mark couldn't have predicted. It grunted, softly. Not a threat, not a warning. It was a noise he'd heard before, years ago, from a mother bear communicating with her cubs. Mark furrowed his brow. The bear didn't move. It held his gaze, then looked off to the side, into the woods, and back at him again. Almost like it wanted him to look, too. His instincts told him to back away slowly, create distance, disappear into the trees, and not question a miracle when it spared your life. But something stronger, deeper, kept his feet rooted. He took a single step back. The bear didn't follow. Instead, it turned, limping heavily now, and began to walk in the direction it had indicated. After several paces, it paused and looked back. Mark stood still, heart thudding, unsure if he was interpreting this right. The bear stared, waited, then took a few more limping steps forward before stopping again. It was unmistakable now. The bear was trying to lead him somewhere. Mark's stomach twisted. Every rational part of his brain screamed this was madness. Follow a wounded bear into the wilderness? Alone? Unarmed? But this wasn't a hunting trip. He'd come out here to witness the wild, to document it. And this, whatever it was, felt like something no camera had ever seen. He slowly unslung his rifle and set it on the ground. The bear watched, then resumed walking. Mark followed. They moved through thick brush, ducking beneath low-hanging branches and stepping over gnarled roots. Mark kept his distance, never getting too close, but always keeping the bear in sight. The animal limped heavily, favoring its left hind leg, each step labored but determined. The tracks were clearer now, deeper, fresher, and not just from the bear. Smaller tracks veered off the path, rushed, uncoordinated, full of panic. Something had happened here. They reached a ridge. The bear paused at the edge, glancing back once more before beginning the slow descent. Mark stepped forward and peered down. A shallow ravine snaked through the trees below, its center shrouded in mist. At first, he saw nothing. Then, movement. Nestled beneath a fallen tree was a small shape. Fur, brown, still, a bear cub. Mark's breath hitched. The cub was curled tight against the earth, one paw twisted at an awkward angle, ribs rising and falling in shallow breaths. It was alive, but barely. The mother bear reached it, nuzzling the cub gently. The cub whimpered, shifting weakly. The mother turned back to Mark once more, and this time the desperation in her eyes was unmistakable. Mark descended carefully into the ravine, heart racing. Not from fear now, but from the sheer impossibility of what was happening. He knelt a few feet away, not daring to approach fully. The mother bear watched, unmoving, trusting. Mark reached into his pack, retrieving a small water bottle. He poured a little into his palm and offered it slowly toward the cub. After a few tries, the cub licked at the moisture. Then came the blood. Fresh, not from the cub, behind them. A low snarl rolled through the forest like thunder. Mark turned sharply. Another shape moved at the edge of the trees. Darker, leaner, eyes gleaming, a second bear. But this one wasn't here to lead him anywhere. This one was hunting.